Hello, my name is Pauline, and I'm the lighting director for She Talks to Beethoven. I wanted to begin with the introduction of the play, which is an opera Ghana. It says interior of a bedroom at a house on the campus of Legon, a shuttered room, a ceiling fan, a bed covered with mosquito netting, a shelf of books over a small writing table, and a delicate blue phonograph. All windows except one are shuttered. That window overlooks a winding road. The side of the room that is shuttered is dim. So, reading the initial setting of the play, it tends to give off a very calm and relaxing feeling. So, I envisioned gold rays of light shining in through one side of the room through a shuttered window, while there's hardly any light coming from the other side. For the second scene, where Suzanne suddenly turned to the radio, I noticed the importance that the radio has in the play and thought it would be appropriate during the first few scenes to have its own constant spotlight on it, which would be at this time a golden light. When we first notice a voice in the radio, it sort of brings out a mysterious vibe. So I thought that having a dark background with a single spotlight on it puts emphasis on the fact that we don't know exactly what the voice on the radio brings to the story as of yet, but the audience needs to know that it's important. For the next scene, the room appears out of the darkness. Suzanne rises and crosses to Beethoven and stands staring at him. I chose a white mist to show the darkness fade away as opposed to a dark gray mist because I wanted it to be a stark contrast from the darkness of the room. And the color blue mixed with white sort of connotes a dream or a state of highness, like in the clouds. In the next scene, she looks at drawings Beethoven has in his room and the sheets of music on his floor. Suddenly, she turns back to the window, watching the road for her husband. So, with this scene, I wanted to keep the dreamy, hazy effect and make the atmosphere a gray, misty color, which can represent the different time period she's now in. Also, like the different state of mind as well. Um, with her looking out the window, time has passed, and so I thought a royal blue color would signify not only the time of night, but also her increase in worry and longing for her husband's return and his safety. Now, at this point in the play, as she's looking out the window, the radio says, "Has Alexander been murdered?" I wanted to take it back to the spotlight on the radio and switch the gold light to the same royal blue to emphasize the worry mood that she's in. So during the scene where Suzanne unwraps her wound and finds out that it's still pale white and she still is sick, I thought it'd be appropriate to dim the lights and stick with a darkish gray because at this point, um, the energy seems to be at a constant solemn mood. Um, because we see that Suzanne is remaining calm and collected, and we know that there's like a million different scenarios running through her head. In this last scene, when David finally returns to her, I wanted to add a mix of purple and pink lights shining down on them. The ending seems sort of bittersweet, but definitely more sweet than bitter. Bitter because, she's reading about Beethoven's death and the the play in her head sort of comes to an end. but sweet because her husband finally returns back to her and, safe and sound. So the purple color sort of represents the peaceful side to the sadness, like acceptance. And the pink brings in the love and delight that she gets of her husband's return. So that's pretty much the lighting direction I had in mind for She Talks to Beethoven.